All right, IM1 classes. We are looking today at how to solve and graph inequalities. So our last lesson, we looked at what inequalities are, how to read them, and then how to graph them on a number line, how, shading in the possible values of the inequality. Today, we're just going to be including equations with this. So we have our an inequality. We're going to solve this for k. So -2 plus k divided by 2 is greater than or equal to -5. For the most part, when you're solving this inequality, you're going to treat it exactly like an equation. I'm going to put in my line of separation, keep track of the two sides of the inequality, and then I'm going to eliminate things on the same side as the variable. There's going to be one little thing that's different about solving an inequality than solving the equation, but we'll get to that after this first set of problems. So I'm going to eliminate this -2 by adding 2 to both sides. -2 plus 2 is 0, so that cancels out. So I have k divided by 2 is greater than or equal to -5 plus 2 is -3. So remember, k over 2, this fraction, this means k divided by 2. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to eliminate the 2 on the bottom. So times 2 divided by 2 cancels out. And I get k is greater than or equal to -3 times 2 is -6. So now I graph this. So I'm going to go down to the endpoint -6. I'm going to put, since there is a line underneath the inequality, I'm going to put a closed circle at -6. K is greater than -6. I need to shade in the values that are greater than -6. That's going to be the values to the right. So I shade everything to the right. And now I'm so solve the inequality like a normal equation, graph at the end. So nothing too new. Let's look at another example. Yeah, I'm going to put in a line of separation so I can see both sides of my inequality. I'm going to start off, I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides to eliminate the 10. Again, I'm trying to get the b by itself, so I'm going to eliminate the things on the same side as the b. So 31 minus 10 is 21, is less than 3 times b. You can eliminate the 3 by dividing both sides by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. It's less than the 3's here cancel out, is b. So I'm going to go to the endpoint 7. There's no line underneath, so it's an open circle. And now I need to think about what this is saying. So 7 is less than b. That's kind of hard to think about it that way when I'm trying to graph it. So I'm going to read it the other way. I'm going to read it with the variable first. So it's going to be b is greater than 7. So I need to shade all values bigger than 7. So think of it in terms of b. b is bigger than 7, greater than 7. So I'm going to shade everything greater than 7 to the right. Now we're done. All right, next example, why don't you do this one by yourself. You can pause the video. I'll work through it right now, and then when you're done, start the video again, and you can check your answer. First thing I'm going to do, line of separation. Now I'm going to eliminate the things on the same side as the x. So my first step is going to eliminate the 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. So plus 10 minus 10 eliminates. I get 9x not equal to, almost put an equal sign, is greater than 45. Then I'm going to divide by 9 to eliminate the 9. So that cancels out. I get x is greater than 5. Open circle at 5 since there's no line underneath the equal sign, and x is greater than, so I need to shade all the values greater than. I did not mean for all these examples to be greater than, that's just what happened. Oh well. So there you go. Next, So this is where we get a slight thing that we need to add, a slight difference between solving inequalities and solving equations. And that is when you're dealing with multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative. When solving, you need to flip the inequality. The inequality flips. All right? So how this works. Start off solving like a normal inequality or equation. To eliminate the -5, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. -5 plus 5 cancels out. So I get -3n is less than or equal to 27 plus, or 22 plus 5 is 27. Then to eliminate the -3 there, I need to divide both sides by -3. And so -3 divided by -3 cancels out, and then I get n. 27 divided by -3 is going to be a -9. Since I am dividing both sides, left side and right side, by a negative, I need to flip this inequality. So it's opening up this way. I need to flip it to open up the other way. All right? Flip the inequality, so opens, now it says n is greater than or equal to -9. So if you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the inequality. So find the -9, that's going to be here. It's a closed circle, and n is greater than, and I need to shade to the right again. Picking all the ones where you shade to the right. Oh well. Next example. So same thing. I'm going to put in a line of separation. I'm going to start off, I'm going to eliminate the -10 by adding 10 to both sides. -10 plus 10 cancels out. I get -5a. I do not flip the inequality. You only flip if you're multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative. So this opens up the same way. -25 is to the left of 0. I add 10, so I'm going to count to the right. So I'm going to get closer to 0. I'm going to be at -15. Then I'm going to divide both sides by -5. -5s cancel out here. Left with just a. And then -15 divided by -5 is +3. Since I divided both sides by a negative, I need to flip the inequality. We go this way, flip it to open up the other way. So this can be a is less than or equal to 3. Should have. So I'm going to go to 3. It's a closed circle since there's a line underneath it. And I shade to the left. I need to shade values less than 3. That is to the left this time. All right. Go ahead, try this one on your own. Pause the video and then check your answer. Start the video up when you're done and check your answer. I'm going to work through it right now. So first thing I'm going to do is eliminate the 7. I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I do not need to flip the inequality since I added. You only flip if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative. So 11 plus 7 is 18. Now I'm going to divide both sides by -9. That cancels out. I get R. I need to flip the inequality. Since I divided both sides by -9, I need to flip the inequality to open the other way. 18 divided by -9 is -2. Remember, divide by a negative, flip the inequality. All right. So -2. It's going to be a closed circle at -2 since there's a line underneath the inequality, and I'm going to shade to the left. I'm going to shade all values less than -2. And then we're done with that one. All right, just 2 more problems. Try this one on your own. You can pause the video, and then when you're done, start back up and check your answer. I'm going to work through it now. First thing I'm going to do is put in the line of separation. So all this one I need to distribute. So 2 times n is 2n, bring down the plus, and then 2 times 5 is 10. I do not need to flip the inequality. You only flip when you are multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative. I distributed, no flipping. Then I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. So I get 2n is less than 4 minus 10 is negative 6. Again, I subtracted 10 from both sides, so I do not flip the inequality. You only flip if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative. We subtracted 10, so you don't flip. When you add or subtract, you don't flip. Last, I'm going to divide by 2. These 2's cancel out. I get n. Again, I do not flip the inequality here. I divided by a positive 2. I know there's a negative over here, but that doesn't have any effect of whether or not we flip the inequality. I'm dividing by a positive 2, so I do not flip. So I get n is less than negative 3. So I graph it. I put a open circle at negative 3, and I need to shade in the values less than negative 3. That's going to be to the left. Last question. Line of separation. Go ahead and work this one out on your own. When you're done, check your answer. I'm going to go ahead and work through it now. So first thing I'm going to do is distribute again. So it's going to be negative 10 times p plus negative 10 times 2 is negative 20. Greater than or equal to negative 30 plus a negative 20. Before I move on, I know I distributed a negative 10 and you multiply when you distribute, but I still do not flip the inequality because I did not multiply or divide both sides by a negative. Distributing doesn't count with that, so it's only if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, so no need to flip. But here, plus a negative 20 is the same thing as minus 20. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that. I'll keep track of negatives and stuff. So negative p minus 20 is greater than or equal to negative 30. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. That eliminates. I get negative p, or negative 10p, is greater than or equal to negative 110. I do not need to flip the inequality because I added on both sides. It's only if you multiply or divide by a negative do you flip the inequality. Last, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 10. So p, I need to flip in this case because I just divided both sides by negative 10. So I'm going to flip the inequality to, so negative 10, 110 divided by 10 is positive 11. So I'm going to put a closed circle at 11 since it has a line underneath it, and p is less than or equal to, so I need to shade everything less than. So that's to the left. Everything to the left. And that is it. Your assignment is on Delta Math. So go ahead, log into Delta Math and get the assignment done. Email me if you have any questions, and we will see you next time.